also on Facebook, and those who are with us on Instagram, the gram, as you would say, So definitely give thanks for this divine and holy opportunity just to be with you again once more. Jah Rastafari. So definitely this evening, we just want to just give thanks again for life, and we like to give thanks for wellness and strength, and we just want to just go into the whole realms of how it is that as a people we are going to uplift ourselves when it comes to overall wellness, and how it is that we are going to be prioritizing the decisions that we are going to be making in the coming days and months and weeks, as they say that the world is definitely a different place now. That everything is topsy turvy. People are here and people are not there, and all type of different things is happening all around the world. But yet still, certain places, you see like as if nothing at all is happening. So we're supposed to be in a time whereby they don't know what tomorrow is going to bring. You have plenty of people who don't have a job, who've lost their job, people who are doing all different type of things, and people who are suffering, and people who have to work longer hours, and people who have begun working from home, and all different type of things. And yet still, there are countries who are completely locked down, and then you have countries that life is as usual, like Australia. Down in Australia, you have big stadium packed, filled with people watching cricket and all these different type of that. I'm talking about 40, 50, 60,000 people together, in a stadium, and we're supposed to be in pandemic times. So what is it that is different in these circumstances whereby some countries are so wide open and then some other countries are so closed up, and if it is that we really analyze the reality that is on the ground, what is happening, especially here in St. Lucia, when it comes to our overall wellness as a people, yes, we have an increased number of positives, and at the same time we have not had that many deaths, and even one of the deaths that was recorded was someone who already had plenty different types of conditions. There were people who already had a different little problem. So we have we come to this understanding that this coronavirus is basically really is going to make it hard and tough on the people who already have some pre-existing condition, meaning that you already not well. So that means if you catch the flu, then you're in trouble. So when it is that as a scientist that you understand the whole aspect of the basis whereby even here in St. Lucia that we acknowledge our numbers. The test that is actually done here in St. Lucia is what you call the PCR test. That's the standard test. Some other countries have rapid response tests, like quick tests that you just do in a couple of hours, you get it right away. But people down here in the West, that case is specifically that test is the PCR test, which is the polymerase chain reaction test. So that test called the polymerase chain reaction test is basically, and I'm just putting this because we have literally closed down country. The whole country is now closed down, and nothing really happening in the country. And at the end of the day, plenty things happening still because people are getting this virus. But yet still, what we must understand is that internationally and in the world of science, there are plenty of options of different modalities to actually even test for the coronavirus, and the test that we are using is the polymerase chain reaction test, meaning that, as I've said previously, a sample is taken from the mucosal lining of that individual, and then that sample, the genome, the genes within that sample is actually grown exponentially. So what we understand is that when it is that you extract that biological sample, then you're going to, because it's called a polymerase chain reaction test. It means that you are literally going to use the enzyme polymerase, right, which is basically the enzyme that is responsible in the whole aspect of DNA synthesis. So what you are doing, you are going to be synthesizing, you are going to create genes, right? So the polymerase chain reaction test involves the enzyme polymerase that is just going to be binding different nucleotides, right, to help in the replication of a particular sequence of gene that is found in that sample that you have. Okay? So what happens is that after a series of cycles, so they say, well, in that test you have cycles whereby every cycle a particular quantity, right, of that genetic material will be replicated. So if you have 2, then you'll get 4, then you'll get 8, then you'll get 16, then you'll get 42, then you'll get 64, then you'll get 128, and it will go like that exponentially, exponential growth of that multiplication of that genetic material. That's what they call the polymerase chain reaction test. That's why it's called a chain reaction, because there is what you would call exponential growth in the genetic material. Very important. Now, some scientists who tell you, I'm just going to put it out there to you, and then you as an individual, you're going to just go and study it yourself and understand it yourself. There are scientists and understanding that you are talking about the PCR test. You know, there are some scientists. Okay, in fact, there's that article that was basically written whereby that I think that is in RT News, whereby a set of tourists that were actually visiting Portugal actually sued the Portuguese government for quarantine, you know, and they said, well, the reason what happened is that based upon the lawsuit was because they said that they were quarantined because they were diagnosed positive utilizing the polymerase chain reaction test. And what happened is that the judgment that came out of the court, you know, I'm just putting it out there to you. You could go ahead, you could just search it out in the news, and you could just go and search it on the internet and say and check, well, tourists sue Portuguese government, you know, for quarantine measures because of, and what they found is that the tourists actually won the case, because the judgment stated that there were too many variables, right, for the PCR test to have been used as a conclusive means of actually diagnosing the people with coronavirus. So like they won the case, you know. And then they said also that the scientists who actually would say, well, that any more than 25 replications or cycles of the PCR test would give you up to 97% of what you refer to as a false positive. That's very important information, especially knowing that we are in a condition here in St. Lucia, and you know, we're doing more testing because more people have the coronavirus, and we are utilizing that PCR test. So it is of relevance for us as a people when we hear these type of stories to check the validity of it. So I'm just encouraging you to just search it out, read it out, and see whether you know you could actually read it for yourself and dig into it and see whether whatever it is, and it is important that when we understand that, then we say, but all of our national policies, right, would be based upon a polymerase chain reaction test, what they call a PCR test. And then that test now, right, according to what the article says, is that, right, not done properly, done more than 25 cycles, you would be getting a 97% rate of what you call false positives, meaning that out of every 100 people that are test positive, you could have as many as 97 of them being false positives. So it is very important that we analyze that, and I know that in St. Lucia we have a lot of intelligent people, so I would only hope that the people here would actually go into it and then analyze it deeply, whereby they could check and see how is it that is there any veracity, is it true, is it valid that you could get 97% of false positives from the test that governs our national policy, and that policy is the quarantine and all them things there, and closing up country and all these different type of things is because of a positive test of the PCR test, so we have to check that a lot. And if they say it's 97%, you have a possibility. I'm just telling you what the article was saying, that there's that possibility that you have 97% of false positives. Then it's only natural that as a people we just check these things out and see whether or not that these things is authentic, or as some people would call fake news. So I myself, I'm just keen in science, so any scientific journals and anything that comes and talk about science, I myself, I will read it, and I'm just bringing it to you as a nation, because those of you that's live on Instagram or on YouTube, you must know that this program basically is a live program that we have here in St. Lucia, that is in the Caribbean, so you see me here on Instagram, but I'm also live on national television. So what we are speaking it not only to you on Instagram or on YouTube, but we are speaking it to our people right here in the beautiful island of St. Lucia, where we've been having an increase in the number of corona. We were one of the countries, everything was well nice and good until all of a sudden we have an increased numbers, but it's not like people dying like that per se, but we have increased numbers, and that is actually shaping a lot of the things when it comes to what's happening in our country. So since it is that we came across that article, we found it prudent to actually bring it forward to you. So have a look at it, read about it, and see if you have any other articles that could actually come and probably help us, to say whether as a nation that we should stick to that, or whether the articles were wrong and somebody else is right, and we stick to it. But at least we would have a look at it. Give thanks, all those of you on Instagram, like Good Water, give thanks. Was the article? Well, the article is on RT television, RT News, RT Russia Television. If you could read that, and then just check for Portuguese. I have it on my Instagram page. I took some pictures of the article and I posted it. The study by the scientists and all these different things there. So you could if you just go on my Instagram, I posted that on the picture and everything, and the link and everything, so you could actually get that. Yes, like Good Water, you can check it there. Give thanks, Jaharia, Acton Sparkle, give thanks, Zion Goddess, Trendy Customs, give thanks, Official Wadada, give thanks, My Lord, Glorify, Ecolux, give thanks, Simply Sailor, Fresh Factory, give thanks, Aden Augustine, give thanks, Christy Music, give thanks, Juicy, James, Plummersville, Chantnik, Blissful Perspective, Honorable Goddess, give thanks, Honorable. Dream Naturally, give thanks for all those of you. I won't be able to Princess Maya give thanks also, right? Those of you on YouTube who are with us now, I mean, definitely give thanks for all those of you who are there with us. Mike D, Marcus Samuels, knowledge for the future. Even the man who created the PCR test says it should not be used to test for. Okay, all right, well, I don't know about that. He didn't tell me that, but I'm sure you know what you're talking about. Donna Anderson, blessed love, my Lord, the right honorable priest, I pray that the Almighty will let your path and lead your path, light your path, and provide you the uttermost protection so you can keep bestowing your profound knowledge on us. Give thanks, beloved brother, give thanks, Louise Allen, knowledge for the future. Give thanks, Emma Center, Louise, full armor enter, give thanks for all those of you who are basically with us. Lana Mela, give thanks. We'll be taking some questions when it's halfway through the time. Now, another thing is that now, we, in St. Lucia, what we have actually recommended and we have stated on the national radio when we're doing our little interviews is that we would find that it would be important that locally that we establish, because I heard the minister, the CMO, speaking with regards to the realms of they'll be acquiring the vaccine by, I think, March next year, and then they get it at a discounted price, because they are some Grenada and some different countries. So I mean the vaccine will be rolled out in St. Lucia, and they're trying to get, I think, 20% immunity, and that's what I'm not sure. I'm just paraphrasing. I'm sorry if I paraphrase you wrong, but I'm saying that also I would think that it would be prudent that we also establish what you would call a vaccines complaints unit. Of course, all of us, I heard the Prime Minister said that he's going to be taking it. So if he gets a complaint, there should be a place where he would go and say, well, after I take that, I had a little backache, okay? After I take that, I had a little, headache, okay, but it's a little fever, okay, all right. Okay, I had 5 seizures, or whatever it is that you might experience, because we are talking about what we would refer to as an mRNA vaccine. It is very important that as a people that we have that full understanding, because many people don't even understand the whole principles of what they would refer to as the mRNA vaccine. They don't know what an mRNA vaccine is. The majority of people don't even know what mRNA actually stands for. The poor people outside there, I don't think majority of people understand what mRNA is. Does anyone on Instagram know what mRNA is? Let me see if anyone knows what mRNA. Does anyone know what mRNA? Jaffrey, 1979. Do you know what mRNA is? Drummo Victory. Do you know what mRNA is? Brother Joseph, do you know what mRNA is? Millie Bass, do you know? Shatnik, do you know? Does anyone know what mRNA is? People asking all kind of questions about hair loss. I'm asking you whether you know what mRNA is. I'm not saying. Okay, someone says messenger RNA. Okay, you're right, Juicy James. Irina, okay, messenger RNA. Okay, have no idea, father. Okay, Jomo, at least you honest. Okay, all right. So people don't know. So what mRNA is? It's called messenger RNA for true. The M stands for messenger. The R stands for the RNA is ribonucleic acid. Okay, so RNA is what they call ribonucleic acid. Now, an RNA is a sequence, a code, right? That basically, we have what you call our DNA. Our DNA is basically deoxyribonucleic acid. So while you have RNA is ribonucleic acid, DNA is deoxyribonucleic acid. So whereby the RNA is basically like a sequence, a short code, right? A short little code that actually codes for a particular protein or a particular set of proteins or to produce something really specific. The DNA is in a double helix form. It's in a very stable form that has a 5' and a 3' end, and then a 3' and a 5' end where they combine in a double helix. like sticks intertwined, right? So from the DNA, right, from the deoxyribonucleic acid, what you can do, you could actually extract a particular sequence of nucleotides, which is basically, biological molecules, right, nucleotides, that actually binds together to give you a particular sequence, and that sequence will map for a particular function. Let's say for the production of insulin, or for the production of saliva, or for the production of estrogen, or for the production of adrenaline, whatever it is. Okay, so the messenger RNA would contain a message, right, that would actually dictate what another part of your cell called the endoplasmic reticulum is going to be able to produce. All right, so when you have messenger RNA, it means that this nucleotide, that sequence of nucleotides, contain a very specific message that is going to give to another aspect of your cell called the endoplasmic reticulum, that's going to be responsible for producing that particular protein, right? So in the case of protein synthesis, that's going to be done by an organelle called your rough endoplasmic reticulum, or your ribosomes. It's rough because it has ribosomes. Okay, all right. So we understand that you have DNA, like a building has a blueprint, the washroom that is on the food floor. So the builder would go to the master plan and then just pick out that little piece. But that's all we need them, and that little piece on the master plan, that how we build in the bathroom. Okay, all right. So the wall's supposed to be this, the toilet's supposed to come here, the face basin supposed to come here. That's it. So the same way, the DNA is the master plan, and the mRNA is just a sequence from that DNA responsible for the production of a very particular protein. Okay, important. So that protein now, not only your mRNA doesn't only carry messages to produce proteins. The message to produce the proteins goes to the rough endoplasmic reticulum, and the message to produce probably a steroid or something fatty or something like that would go to the smooth endoplasmic reticulum. Okay, all right. So we're just talking about the proteins because we're talking about the mRNA vaccine that is going to be given to rolled out in St. Lucia in about March, according to our chief medical officer. Give thanks for all the wonderful work that you've been doing, my sister, in helping to keep the country safe. But what I'm saying is that since it is that we are going to be rolling out this new vaccine, that's an mRNA vaccine. So okay, so you understand now that the mRNA that you will get in from the vaccine now is going to be a sequence, a plan, right? A plan, a sequence, a recipe that is going to go into your cells, and then your cells now going to be responsible for the production of the protein or the chemical that this messenger RNA is actually carrying. Okay, man, you getting it? You saying that science is hard, but you getting it? Okay, oh right, I can see you smiling now. You getting it? They tell me if it's too hard. If it's too hard for you, let me know. If you getting it, let me know. I mean, what happened? It's too hard for you? Is it too hard for you? You getting it? Are you getting it? Okay, all right. Come on, man. Let me know if you get anything or you don't get anything, and you'll let me know if you get it. Right, so, okay, getting it? Okay, Shantnik, you getting it? Give thanks. All right, so when it is that you are going to be inserting, now, because RNA is so fragile, it's just a single strand, it's just a little piece of information. If you drop it there, just going to something going to come and mash it up or something. Yes, I Juliet James, yeah, good thanks, you getting it. If you just drop the RNA sequence there, something will mash it up. All right, now to get that sequence into the cell, because the cell has a membrane. It is engulfed, enclosed. So you want to get this information. So let's say that the studio here is the cell. Now I am the one that's supposed to be carrying out the information. So you want me to be producing this. So that information have to come from the door. There's only one door here, brother. I mean, you have to bring that information from the door, bring that here to the priest. And the priest is going to say, hey, my brother here, come on, you produce this. Or you, my sister here, you produce this. Okay, all right. So then the studio has a walls and a door. So any message coming into that studio that I could actually pass on the word have to come through that door. Right now, if the message is probably written on a little thin piece of paper, or you write it on with some ink that actually dries off in 1 minute, or it's raining and you just bring it on a piece of paper, it could tear, whatever can happen. So to make sure that message gets to the priest, you're going to put it in a nice envelope and you're going to seal it up, make sure the message is in the envelope. So whatever happened, that envelope gets to the priest. Okay, all right. So with the vaccine now, for the vaccine to enter into the cell, whereby the proteins can be synthesized, can be created, the vaccine now also has to be enveloped. So you would have to create a synthetic, what you would call a biphosphate layer, a nanoparticle, right, that would enclose that mRNA sequence, that it can go into your cell and survive. Now, because it is new technology, that what you are doing, you are utilizing your cell as a factory to actually produce the proteins that the virus will be producing. So it's not like you are putting the virus in the person. Before, they used to put the virus, the weak virus inside of you, and then both you develop an immune response. It's not like they put in no weak virus this time, or a half-dead virus and attenuated. No. What they are putting a genetic sequence, an mRNA, a messenger RNA, which is basically a genetic sequence, base pairs, nucleotides, arranged in a particular sequence, carrying a specific message. And that message now would tell your cell to produce that protein. Now, when it produces the protein now, that's the protein that the virus would have been producing. So then it goes out of your cell, and then your immune system supposedly supposed to recognize it and then produce what you call your antibodies for that. Very important, man. Very important. Very important. Okay, all right. So, I mean, if all works well, it seems like a fantastic idea. I mean, whoa, man, if all the science clicks up, man, it's a fantastic idea. But I don't know what else they put in it. You'd have people saying, I'm not even talking about the other type of things that people that say that they put in vaccines. I'm just talking about the mechanism of action of the vaccine. So I'm not talking about any other thing of what they put in the vaccine. I'm just talking about the mechanism of the action. So I'm not talking about nothing about no kind of thing or this or that. I'm just talking about the fact that it's an mRNA vaccine and it's a new modality of vaccines. And I would think that because it is so new, that in St. Lucia, what we would have to do is that definitely would have to establish what you would call a vaccine complaints unit, whereby every little effect that the vaccine have on the people, you write it down. It's not a time now to come and play as if you love the vaccine more than the people that make it. The information that you actually will get from, the information that you're going to give them going to have to better. And if it is that they're wrong and they give something bad, you could hold them accountable. Okay, so then Jenny Poo, will you take it? Of course not. I don't believe in vaccines, man. I believe in boosting up your immune system. But I mean, it is up to you if you want to take your vaccine. You know, it's up to you. Give thanks. Blessed love and thank you for the explanation. Give thanks, Honorable Joel Edward. Oh, yes, Annette Space is getting it. Nicole Naomi getting it. I mean, give thanks, definitely. You know, I don't believe in sin, you know, I believe in righteousness. So I will not be vaccinating. I'm not sinning. You know, but I mean, if you want to take it, that's you. I'm not telling anyone not to take it. You know, I mean, I'm just telling you that it's going to come and the people's going to take it. You know, so, but at the end of the day, what we should have is what we call a vaccine complaints unit. You know, whereby I'm not trying to enforce my will on nobody, you know. I'm just telling you that whereby we have that complaint unit, whereby if you have any complaints whatsoever, anything go wrong, at least we have a place whereby the people can come and write and give their complaints. Because as I've said before, in St. Lucia, you know, it's not like America whereby, you know, you could sue something or you could get the money. In America, there is already a vaccine complaint unit, so you could, if anything happens with the vaccine, the people can go and complain and get some money, you know, for the damages. But here in St. Lucia, if you say that you get the vaccine and you get a seizure, everybody is going to be saying all type of thing. But since we know that, you know, definitely, because your physical structure has many viruses, I mean, it's just a genetic sequence. Well, I mean, there are all kind of viruses around the place. You know, it's your immune system, you know, and this thing there, normally we know that it's supposed to take at least, you know, 10 years. The fastest vaccine before this was the mumps vaccine, that was about 5 years. All other vaccines took at least 10 years to actually get approval. This one is getting approval in less than a year. You know, so please, man, I mean, let us just look towards safeguarding our people, and then definitely we would move forward there. As I say, me personally as a man, I don't believe in that, but if you believe in it, then, you know, yeah, I know that there are laws where you no longer hold the vaccine manufacturers accountable, but there are people who, there is that, what you call that complaints unit that actually does take care of people that has complaints from vaccines. That does actually take care of them, but I know that Congress, you know, spare them. Okay, all right. Let's see, any questions that we have, we could open up the lines right now. It's on the half, yes, 9:40 right now. We have about 20 more minutes. So we'll open up the lines now. Anyone have any questions? You know that you could ask your questions right now for whoever wants to ask a question. Okay, so I know you asked a question previously, you know, but just type your question right now. So the questions you're gonna ask, you could type it. Cut diamond and no accountability for manufacturers, no good. There are no accountability, so there's no reason why they should ensure that it's 100%. Is you now have to ensure that it's 100%. So I'm just appealing to our leaders. You know, the CMO, you've been doing a great job so far. You know, so I mean, we know that the rollout of the vaccine is going to be soon. So I'm just saying that we would definitely need a complaints unit, you know, for the people that choose to take it. And I am not going to be one of these people, but I'm just saying that I mean, have a complaints unit. What herbs should we take as preventative for virus? I mean, you have herbs like the gully root, the root and the leaf. You also have the Spanish needle, what they call the Biden's pillow, so that's very effective when it comes to antiviral. You also have the vervine, you know, all these herbs are extremely good, and also the cannabis, the ganja, marijuana is great also. Will they force the vaccine? I don't know. I don't know, Carrie, I don't know about that. What else is in the vaccine? Well, there are plenty other things in the vaccine, but that's not the program for that, and I'm not gonna be talking about that. You know, like good water. I'm sure if you know something, brother, to tell us, just tell us. When can I get the kidney cleanser to purchase? Shantnik, that's supposed to be on the website this week, so definitely you could get the urinary cleanse, you know, which actually cleanses the kidneys and your whole urinary system to actually purchase. Okay. What can I use if I have high blood pressure due to low thyroid? You could use bladder rack, you could use CMOS, then you could use herbs like the Spanish needle, seal on the leaf, stinging nettle. All these here is basically what you'll call electrolyte sparing diuretics. Electrolyte sparing diuretics. What is your website? priskailash.com, and also all of our herbs are available on akimpierre.com. Definitely. Will they allow a religious exemption from taking the vaccine? Well, I mean, yeah, they should. I mean, definitely. I know some countries they put laws and things, but I mean, there is no higher law than human rights, the fundamental human rights. Shehaba, aborted baby fetus are in mRNA vaccine. I mean, if you have the article or it's on the CDC website, send me the link so I could do that. I know plenty things, but at the end of the day, send me the link, man. The website, can I pin my website? Go priskailash.com and also akimpierre.com. Yeah. Peace, love, and light, everyone. Good night. Give thanks, honorable. What is good for gray, brittle hair? I mean, what you could use specifically, if you a place like okra leaves, you could wash the hair with okra leaves. You could use rosemary. You could use stinging nettle as a wash, or you could use the young cocoa, right? And you could use the black castor oil. Helps to thicken the hair. Should we smoke, drink, or steam the ganja? Well, I don't smoke. I just use a chalice. I just steam. And I just do green juices and them type of things. Yeah. How to best utilize the blue vervine as a tea? Definitely as a tea. For women, also as a yoni steam mix, also as a bath. But definitely as a tea. We have the tea bags and the capsules also of that available for you. Okay. Good night. Yes, Akim another urinary on the website. Yes. What herbs would you recommend for pre-diabetics? Gully root, what they call anamu, the root and the leaf. What is the biological mechanism of antibodies? I mean, antibodies are basically what you have. You have what you call an immune response. The immune response is when basically the antigen, which is basically what you have. The antigen is basically the protein that the virus would actually produce, right? The antibody would be the protein that is actually created by your physical structure, right, against that particular protein that is created by the virus. So the antibodies is what would actually help to recognize. Okay, so it's not like the virus comes in. Right, you have all type of cells, memory cells. You have all type of different aspects of the natural killer cells, macrophages. You have all aspects of the immune system that's going to be interacting, with that antigen. So the antibodies are created as weapons to fight that particular antigen, which is that protein. So these antibodies will be there already, waiting, right? So when you get that infection, right, again, it won't be affecting you as before. Why? Because your physical structure already have the soldiers there ready to fight that particular condition. So an antibody is basically a protein that is created to fight off whether a particular very specific infectious agent or antigen. All right? Bobo Flame, lime. What herbs can be used for oral care and underarm odors? As Bobo Flame say, lime juice. So you squeeze the lime in your hands and you pass it underneath your arm. The lines are open. 1758-452-2693. 1758-452-2693. Give us a call. What is the relationship of antibodies and mRNA? Well, the mRNA produces the proteins. The mRNA codes for the proteins. The ribosomes produce the proteins. The proteins are the antigens, and your immune system produces the antibodies to fight the antigens. I hope you get that. What herb can you use for toothache? You could use clove. Just chew the clove and put in the area where the teeth actually hurt. Infertility, 33 years old and irregular cycles, no pregnancy, 10 years of marriage. We have what we call a 21-day program, right? I mean, definitely it is our hobby, our pastime. Ovarian cyst, you have to balance your hormones. And as we always tell people, 70% of ovarian cyst is due to through emotional stress. So definitely you have to take care of your emotions. I am blissful, give thanks. Honorable Jamie Albert, give thanks, bro. Blessed love. I had a vision of the eye recently, Blessings and love. Give thanks for the knowledge. Yeah, my Lord, give thanks. High priest, blessings to you. Any particular herbs for urticaria, also known as hives? Yes, there are. So all you have to do is basically just send us a direct message. PCOS, same thing, is ovarian cyst, is just polycystic ovarian syndrome. So instead of having one cyst, even ovarian cyst, PCOS is like polycystic, meaning that you have more than one cyst in your ovary, right? And then you have plenty of different symptoms. Syndrome is basically what you would call infertility, probably you have acne, probably you have irregular cycles, amenorrhea, whatever it is. Definitely, that's what you call PCOS, polycystic ovarian syndrome. 70% of that definitely is emotional. All right, so what we should do is specifically have that full understanding, whereby as a people that we know, well, PCOS is a symptom of hormonal imbalance, just like fibroids is a symptom of hormonal imbalance. It is not really the problem. So to take care of the fibroids, definitely you must take care of balancing your hormones, and to take care of the PCOS, you have to take care of the hormonal imbalance. Okay? I have your book, Love It or Give Thanks, Honorable, for getting the book. I Am Blissfully Me, or Give Thanks, Honorable. What can one use for acne? Acne is hormonal balancing. When you have acne, it's like you have excessive estrogen, So what you have to do specifically, you have to bring down the estrogen levels. You could use herbs like St. John's Bush, right? Stop stressing, stop fussing, stop quarreling. Sometimes you have a 40-year-old person with the estrogen levels of a 15 or 16-year-old young child that's just going into adolescence, or they call adolescence, adolescence, and then definitely they stress out themselves and increase the level of what you call estrogen, too much estrogen, when they're not supposed to have so much estrogen. What would you recommend for eczema? We have a cream, and that cream is called the skincare cream. That there is very important for eczema. Eczema, you could have a bath with the cerasee bush. You could make an oil from that and apply that. You could use sulfur, 100% sulfur. That also would actually assist you very much. Yes, cousin Andy, Henry, blessed love, give thanks. I pray all is well with you. Thoughts and recommendation for hair loss, shedding in men. Balance your testosterone. Right, wash your hair with stinging nettle and rosemary. All these things that would actually assist you. The rosemary takes off DHT from the root of your hair that actually causes hair loss. Which is a breakdown of testosterone. Means dehydroxytestosterone, something like that. All right. Ecolux, what would you recommend for ulcerative colitis? We have a male package or a female package, and then you have to call us or email us info@priskelash.com, and then we would actually guide you. It's a lifestyle change completely. Honorable, you should pin your website. Okay, Maurice Samuel, I will see if I can do that for you. You see, I only have a couple of hands. Anyone, people who know the website, just write it down. priskelash@priskelash.com. Yes, caller, blessed. Yes, my sister. Blessed. We hear you plus your country music. Yes. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, we have something on the market already. It's called the Answer. We have a product called the Answer, very good for the immune system. I mean, definitely, you could use that. You could use a sauce. Yeah, give thanks. Give thanks, Mama. Blessed love. Give thanks. Yeah. As I said, I was about to read a message there from Empress Chanel, and she just retracted the message. Empress Chanel, why did you retract the message? Why should you just not leave what you see? But I believe that under the Constitution, we should find standardized protocols in self-preservation and allow ones who refuse vaccine have a proper structure, recognizing a natural cure. Well, I mean, definitely there are plenty of natural things out there available already. So, on Madagascar, yeah, okay. For pre-skill, okay. Someone has posted the um the website on Instagram, but the YouTube people still asking it. So it's prescalage.com. Yes, Bobo in Brooklyn. Give thanks, Honorable Pris Merrill, man. Heart of love. What we want to use for hemorrhoids, cannabis oil. You know, after you, what you do, you insert the cannabis oil in around the rim of the anus. Very effective. It stops the bleeding almost immediately. Cannabis oil, very good for the inflammation around there and for the varicose vein around there. Um, divineness. Yoni's team is an amazing way to approach that PCOS, especially if you fall into that 70% that he mentioned. Could it be emotionally related hormones? Yeah, man. Every woman with PCOS, 70%. I mean, I'm telling you, you know. I mean, our woman does go for a lot of trauma. You know, so the Yoni steam would help. But also the Yoni steam mix that we have to have particular herbs, you know, that helps to deal with because it's vapor in you. When you smell a herb, that means that the particles has already entered into your bloodstream, cross the blood-brain barrier already, right? So it is very important that you understand that steaming, vaginal steam, is also divine, a divine culture, and all women are supposed to actually follow. We have approximately 5 more minutes. Are there any more questions? Any more questions for us? No more questions? Blessed love, honorable. Is there any online resource books or website you could recommend research the benefits or use of herbs? Well, I have a book called The Herbal Manual. You could get it on akimpierre.com. akimpierre.com. You could get that thing there on akimpierre.com. Definitely. You know, our book is called The Herbal Manual. It used to be on how you say that, on Amazon, but Amazon took it out and did their own, probably have their own Amazon, you know, herbal book now. You know how Amazon does operate. You know, you have a brilliant idea, Amazon takes it and they go. Eczema is basically what you would call an immune system reaction, parasitic infestation. Also, you know, you have, it's all about your immune system, you know, a response. You know, it could be tolerance to certain types of foods, it could be intolerance to dairy products, all these things there. Peace King, is a bath as effective as a steam? A bath is awesome, you know. A bath does cleanse you spiritually and physically. I know people who take baths that have been emotionally in emotional turmoil, and these people, they get good. You know, I'm telling you, the baths of the herbs are very effective, very, very effective. It's a major aspect of healing, in the act of healing. Now, like, good evening. I didn't get the name of the leaf you said for the eczema. It's called Serasi bush, what they call Kokom Kuli. That's the master for eczema. Alright, remedy for sciatica and joint pain. Massage the area with warm castor oil and cayenne pepper powder. That warm castor oil is the natural black castor oil, right? Warm castor oil and cayenne pepper powder. Massage the area and also lots of stretches. Use vervine, definitely. We have a product called the Icon. Check on that, my brother. Could CMOS help alleviate eczema? Well, I mean, CMOS is nutritive. You know, you need something therapeutic. I mean, Cassia Lata, Serasi bush, soursop leaf, all these herbs, they're excellent. Yes, caller, blessed. Give thanks, caller. Well, a male package contains 6 different bottles. It contains the colon cleanser, which is basically to clean out the colon. Contains the cellular cleanse, that basically cleans out your cellular system. It also contains the important male tonic, that is to reinforce the man's manhood. Also contains the pure green, boost up the iron. Contains the pure gold for circulation and mucus removal. And also contains the Anamo, the face Douvant syrup for prostatic health and also for blood regulation. 6 products. And you could have a super male package that contains the prosperity, right, and the afro to help to boost up your manhood. Where can I get your products? Is there in the, just read, you'll see akimpierre.com or prescalage.com, any one of these there. How do you feel about apple cider vinegar for exterior applications like dandruff? I mean, I would rather utilize lime. I'd rather utilize lime, um, or key lime or sour orange or rough cut lemon rather than apple cider vinegar. What what can I use for weight loss, detox, or colon cleanse? Get a complete female package and use lots of bladder rock and sea moss. High in iodine helps to stimulate thyroid function, and definitely it will help with the weight loss and stop stressing, balance the hormones. Sometimes weight loss is just because of estrogen dominance also. Yes, but from in the male package, you have my number, honorable. What is bay leaf used for? Bay leaf is a very effective blood thinner, helps in circulation, also helps to add heat to the area. So when women have menstrual cramps, they could drink the bay leaf, helps the blood to flow much better and takes off blood clots. If is there a method you use to get through to people with a strong diabetic spirit, or do you let them come around when they are ready? There's a method. You have to show them love, right? But we have a center called the Mon Kailash Rejuvenation Center. I mean, definitely, it's good to come there and get yourself rejuvenated. Honorable, would you say that our molecule of emotions could actually alter the expression of course, man. I mean, when you go through Ja Jesse, bless up, give thanks, Shabin, what's good for acid reflux? I have to check the iron of Shabin 8016. Just give me a moment. I'll give you a call and we'll speak privately. Hi, good night. I heard you mention something for hypertension. What was it? I was talking about Zebazedri, Zoti, and also Guanabafay for hypertensives. Okay. Bam bam bam. Honorable. Okay. Any more questions? I don't think so. Well, we are just coming. Janessa, natural remedies for depression. Patchouli, very good. Vervine, very good. And basically mentally processing your thoughts and mentally and manually replacing every negative thought with a positive thought. Self-love, self-reflection. Right? But patchouli, vervine, all these things, they are good. Can ginger and turmeric help to lower your cholesterol? By stopping eating flesh, your cholesterol will stop because you only get bad cholesterol from animal products. So stop that and you will get better. All right? I don't think we could take any more questions here. And okay, definitely those people who've been trying to conceive, we have products for that. Just check us out when you have products for that. Judah Black Lion, blessed love, the vibes night. Give thanks, my brother Judah, man. Yeah, man, love. Give thanks. But Francis, you've been blessing too many. Thank you, priest, and may you continue to be blessed. Give thanks for the blessing, my brother. I mean, Joel, sorry. I started my journey to well-being. I would like a mail package, but I noticed it's out of stock on the site. Can I get one at the store? Yes, you could get at the store. So pass at the store, you could get it. Right, so definitely give thanks for all of you who called tonight. Those of you who messaged, I know I'm still getting messages, but I mean, I cannot answer all of it right now. Definitely, we will get your guys. So just send me a direct message on Instagram or send me an email, info@priestkailash.com, info@priestkailash.com, or definitely you could send it. Check. So we have priestkailash.com and also akimpierre.com. These two places definitely you could get us. So give thanks again. So as I say, everything I have said tonight is out of the sincere love and peace, and to help us progress as a nation of people, or as a people on the whole. So definitely give thanks, and I pray that my words are taken out of that context of love and sincerity and peace divine, and for the upliftment of all mankind. Heart of love, definitely we do give thanks for life and the mighty life giver. Jah Rastafari, blessed love.